Hello, hello. I am taking a small break within the campaign here. This is just a fun episode. It's not part of the campaign, as I said, but I do have mods on, so obviously you're going to see the coiled sword from the Dark Souls games. We do have a downloaded character called the Harlot. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to show off a couple of mods. I also have the 3 trinket mods on, Stagecoach, and I have one other, but I can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, I just want to show these off because I want to mostly have this as an update video, because I'm coming near the end of my campaign, and also that means that a lot of content's gonna not go away from Let's Plays, but just a more structured, at least for a regular one. But I am going to talk about 2 other possibilities, and depending on how they I guess are received, I will pursue them or not. There's at least one I want to try once, and if it doesn't work out, I'll probably just stop. But a couple of those possibilities are, I'm going to do a Stygian run, but not show every week by week. Maybe I'll show maybe like every 5. And I might have 2 Stygian runs, because obviously if I fail, I'll need to restart. Hopefully I don't, but it's definitely a different beast. I can't be as lackadaisical in my movements and my choices as I was in my current campaign. I need to be a lot quicker. I believe off the top of my head, I believe it's like 75 weeks you have 12 characters' deaths. So I mean, there's certainly some time limits and restrictions upon what you can do. But I want to get in that. And also, I'm not going to get into hardcore speedrunning. I don't want to do that hardcore. However, I recently saw a video by, was it like Games Done Quick in Europe or something? I occasionally like to watch speedruns of games that I like, and I never particularly saw much of Darkest Dungeon. So, ooh, there's no fight down there. I guess I might as well go do it. But yeah, I never really saw many of Darkest Dungeon, but then I realized that there's a lot of different ways you can speedrun. You actually do the whole game. You can do just certain bosses, and I was thinking about doing certain bosses, not the whole game, because that's... there's a guy, and if some of you die-hard Darkest Dungeon lovers might know, I believe his name's Cryfor, C-R-Y-F-O-R. I believe that's his name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But he does all types of speedrunning, so I might watch a couple more of his episodes. If you haven't seen Cryfor, I haven't talked to him at all, but I guess I'm going to give a shout out to him. Go check him out. He's pretty cool. Looks like he's played the game a lot. I've only seen a couple of his speedruns. Very knowledgeable. He obviously does things differently because obviously he's speedrunning, so he's not playing the game normally. So if you're looking to like learn tips and tricks, you'll probably pick up a couple, because speedrunners absolutely do utilize all the game's mechanics to allow them to do the game as well as possibly can. However, some of the stuff he buys, some of the characters he has, some of the stuff he's going to do is a little more, I don't want to say glitchy, but he does have a lot of like saves and restarts. But not restarts, I mean, but like sometimes he'll like back out and reload to try to get virtue chances, is what you have to do when you're speedrunning, because you essentially got to keep pushing forward, and every time you relog back in, I think if you're not cloud synced, it will do a new dice roll. So it's a great way to try to get people virtue chances. So you'll see him do that. That's not something you may do in your playthroughs. This has been rather uneventful. I really want to show her off, but like, good gosh, man, there's just absolutely no fights in here. I'm also running low on torches, so I might just not torch up anymore until I know a fight's coming. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'd check them out if you're interested in speedrunning in general. If you really like the game, it's very different on how things are done. You'll also see, oh, here we go, first fight. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, well, it's not everybody, but yeah, he's really cool. So a couple of the bosses I thought about speedrunning were the Swine God and probably like the Necro. That'd be like the 2 I'd learn. They're both rather easy, pretty quick. The people who did them, oh my gosh, he's so strong. It was that ability called Silk Hiding Steel. It does bleed, more damage. Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I'd probably do the Swine God and Necromancer. I'm not going to be officially like putting them down anywhere, like these are my official times, but it's just something for fun. Just be like, you know what, how well can I pseudo do it? So as I said, please don't freak out if you're like, oh, you're not using a regulated timer, or you accidentally, did this, which disqualifies your... If you're huge into speedrunning, cool. I like speedrunning, however, like I said, I'm not interested in doing it full time. I just kind of want to try it. I've never tried speedrunning a game before in Darkest Dungeon. I'm so familiar with it, and I've watched a couple of things. I think I'd be down for it. So that's a possibility. So there's dungeon, there's speedrunning. Obviously, there's still character reviews, which I want to do. So that's very important. Character reviews are always good. And then I do, just wait. Sorry, I think I've been getting a little bit of a ear infection or something going on here.
Circle in the dark.
But yeah, I also want to make a ranking video of DLC bosses and a ranking video of the characters, all 17 of them. I'm going to say 17, technically there's 18, but the Musketeer and Arbalist are going to satisfy the same. Oh, I wanted to, uh-oh. Wait, do I not have a bandit thing? Sanctuary, that's a shame. Oh gosh, what's all this stuff? Sure, I don't know. We'll use some of her campfire abilities. What's this? Self only 5 accuracy % chance. Okay, cool. Alright, whatever. What else? Yeah, I want to get those videos out. I do want to make a negative quirk. There's a lot of videos I want to make, and I just really need to bunker down and do them. Because I definitely want to do 2 quirk videos. A quirk management, what I want to call it. I guess not theory, but the ideology, that's the word, behind quirks, how to manage which ones you want to get rid of and stuff. And that's going to be a decent length video along with a video of actually what the quirks just do. Because some quirks are like, oh, they do this in certain situations. And you're like, well, okay. So this dungeon has been just beyond empty. I don't know what to say. I hope I have been able to entertain you with the possibilities of what's coming up in this channel, but for the most part, this has just been pretty bland, and that's quite a shame. Usually, there's a little more going on in the cove here, but I guess not today. I will do another dungeon if there's not much after this. Once again, this really wasn't meant to, as I said, be like a massively entertaining video. However, taking more than 2 hallway fights is always beneficial. Just don't get stunned. Okay, yeah. We'll try finishing off this little armored guy here. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. But yeah, it'll be a good time. Stick around. Regarding those individuals who like Code Vein, which is a very small portion of you, however, it is a portion of you. I have stopped uploading videos as of now, but that does not mean I have stopped playing. I am currently going to play the game through twice. And what that's really going to do, it's just so much bleed damage. Like, what is that ability? Accuracy, bleed, 146 points. Man, it's just so much bleed, 40% versus. It's just good. Ooh, crap. Okay. But yeah. Oh, and this is a, what's it called? Oh, what's that game called? I'm blanking. Hollow Knight Trinket. There we go. Things memorizing eye. There we go. That's a Hollow Knight Trinket. That's another DLC I have on. That's right, Hollow Knight Trinkets. At least we get one more fight. I'm sorry this hasn't been more explosive in terms of enemies, but it is what it is, I guess. Alright. And it's only been 3 too, jeez. Where are these kind of fights when I do my dungeons, my other campaign, man? I'd rather do these than take on half the crap I usually do. Yeah, look at that riposte, it's just so good. Well, since she's riposted, I say we'll just slice up the other guys here. But yeah, no, I'm gonna play through Code Vein twice, and what that's going to allow me to do is find the items, get an idea for bosses, and also kind of like start switching up play styles and stuff. And also, I'll be very familiar with the areas, so I won't be like kind of blubbering around and stuff. This channel does obviously have Let's Plays, but at the same time, I kind of want them to be like, I'm going to do a Let's Play, but show you the best way possible to do something. And I can't exactly do that if I'm just flubbing around and just falling into every trap and whatnot. Maybe entertaining to some, but I don't really have enough time to do that and then another 2, so it's much quicker for me to just go through the game quickly and then go back through. So looking at the time here, if you guys, for the newer subscribers who have not really watched this channel much, there is a video where I kind of break down rooms and the amount of gold and stuff you can get. Medium Explorer rooms are actually very quick for the amount of stuff that's in them. Now, this was a weird one. It was 3 fights. Oh, shoot, she got imposter syndrome. That's okay. I have another DLC character. Not DLC, modded character we can use. I don't want to use her with all that stress and imposter syndrome. That's just too much. But we do have a monk. There he is. We'll take out Perry here. Yeah, we'll take out another Stroll. We'll go through here. The monk I haven't quite got down yet. Minus 40% spirit block. Minus 3 speed. And yeah, the monk's a weird. He's like kinda healing class riposte. It's interesting. I like him, but it's just kind of weird. I have no idea what's good on him yet. I haven't used him enough, but we'll get used to him. Speed, crit chance. His damage is kind of low. I'd like to get him a damage item. We are going to be punching beasts in the face. I got a beast slayer ring around here. Human. I guess, wait, one of these. Okay. Guess we'll just do that. We'll head right on in. But yeah, Code Vein will be a good time. I'll still be making videos for this. I recently checked. I don't need that. Darkest Dungeon 2 has I think a tentative date of December 2020. So that leaves me a nice 11 months to play things. I have bought Sekiro, which is another Dark Souls-ish game. Someone said Battle Brothers. Here we go. This is a little more eventful so far already, so that's good. But yeah, someone said Battle Brothers. I have played that. Now, the only thing with Battle Brothers is it's actually a deceptive amount of time that goes into that. Like, I sank 80 to 90 hours in that game, and I didn't even really know. It's one of those games. It's fun, but it's also rather, well, it's aggravating to me because I'm bad at it. I will admit that. If I was better at the game, I think I'd have more fun. And you would think after 90 hours you're still bad. It's like it's a tough game in the sense that I think you really have to like look up stuff people have really dived into the game on, because it's very difficult to get. At least I think it's very difficult. Now, there's probably people out there that just crush it, and I am, you know, not doing so hot on it. Gosh, this stuff's so. This is character's so. Oh, he's so interesting. He's got a lot of cool abilities. There's other stuff too. I'll show you his other skills, but yeah, Battle Brothers is a hard game. It's very it's more. The fighting is much more. What do I want to call it? Dang, Vertigo, really? I don't know what to call it. It's not clunky, but it's definitely like 75% chance feels like a good chance in Battle Brothers, and in this game we're like 75% chance. Do I wanna? And also in Battle Brothers, it's like your heroes can die in 2 to 3 shots sometimes, so you don't really know when your character is like in danger. Like, you know they're getting attacked, you know that just their armor's chipping, but then at one point they just die. You're like, yeah, alrighty. Like, he's dead. That's all. Like, game over. So it's a very interesting game. If you can get it for a decent price, I guess I would recommend, but for the most part, it's an interesting game. I'll think about maybe putting a couple episodes up, but I think I want to invest my time in other areas.
This is how life is taken.
But yes, that's what's coming up to the channel. It should be a lot of more helpful guides now that I'm finally done with my basement. I guess that's a separate thing in general. My basement is practically done. I am actually getting my furniture this Saturday here. So after all my furniture is moved in, I'll take a quick GoPro around so you guys can see. I'll throw in some pictures of what it used to look like and then what it is now. There's still a couple of things I have to do. Like, there's a portion of the ceiling I never got like completely done, and actually as this video is uploading tonight, I'm gonna go do it so it's completely done. I can wash my hands of that, so that'll be a good time. So is that the party, which is he just gets to dodge, right? Yeah, he just 45 dot. Whoa, that's crazy. Some of these mod characters are just crazy. Nice crit.
In radiance,
But yeah, it'll
may
be a
we
good time.
find victory.
If you're new to the channel, feel free. I try to be organized and put most of my videos into a playlist. But what I will say is there's a tip playlist, a new campaign playlist, a hero review playlist. And then one day when I just get like a lot of time, there's one called Darkest Dungeon playlist. Really, you know, helpful, I guess. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's got like boss reviews, it's got first impressions, it's got like other random dungeon runs that aren't really linked to anything, so it's kind of like bleh. Therefore, I really should just try to separate those into like boss guides and what else? I don't know. I'm sure I can break them down further, but definitely check out the playlist if you're new to the game and you want a more like centralized. This is where all what I think are the most helpful videos. I think it's like things 8 to 9, because I got scouting explained in there. I got both tips videos. I got the 2 trinket videos. There's something else. I got a couple of videos in there that I think are at least worth your time. Some of the trinket ones are really long because I talk about like every trinket. For the most part, I stand behind most of those trinket reviews. There's a couple I'd probably like to have back. Just like most of you have probably seen my, what's it called? Easy, medium, hard boss list. That's another video where I think there's a couple of bosses I would want to reevaluate. But I don't want to make another whole video essentially saying like, oh, this is what I would do now. It's not really. I stand behind almost all of them. That remaking the video at this point wouldn't be worth it. But I did put the Swine God at medium. And the Arbalest just makes that boss so easy that I don't think I can justify having him at medium, even with Wilbur technically still being there. It's just the Swine God so easy now with the mark removal. Sorry if that spoils anything for anyone, but at this point in the game, you'll figure it out. And if you haven't, try it without the mark removing and then try it with. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, well, I'm sorry for that slight spoil, but you'll face them 3 more times, so don't worry about it. Yeah, there we go. Punch him in the face, nice riposte. But yeah. And then, what else? What's another boss? I was on the edge. This is actually when I was thinking. I was on the edge about the flesh. Because I've actually only ever, I think, lost one person, maybe 2. One person or 2 people to the flesh, and ironically, one was in this past playthrough where I should debatably have been at my best. And obviously, I still allowed a person to die on the flesh, which is actually weird because normally I don't lose anyone to the flesh. So it's quite a shock, but I believe I remember in that episode saying, this is a bad party composition. And if you're new to the game, if you feel like it's bad going in, it's probably gonna be bad. You might get away with it, but for the most part, if you think it's gonna be bad because you've had like similar bad experiences where you know what the boss does, like your second time facing them, like I said, it's probably bad. Just trust your instincts. Because there's plenty of times where I make groups and I'm like, you know what, this party's probably gonna be trash, and they usually end up being really bad. So I would argue you're probably right more times than you give yourself credit for. But yeah, I still stand behind the Brick and Pounder as being hard, just on the off chance that you literally miss every attack and he happens to fire. So I'm still going to keep it there. The Shrieker, one day I will just suck it up. I will read your guys' comments over again and try a marking strategy on the Shrieker. It seems like people have great success with that, and I just haven't tried it enough clearly. So I need to try a marking strategy just for fun. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying watching the monk here. This is my 3rd playthrough, so if you're wondering why I have like a bajillion gold. Okay, not a bajillion, but it's 400 million. It's a lot of gold. That is why. This is where I... Ow, I didn't know he took damage to the minus. That's okay. Oh, that's right, then he restores it. Interesting. But yeah, this is kind of my new playground playthrough now. This is where I go back through and I try out mods and stuff, because if it like severely ruins anything, I do not care. I've beaten everything in this. I have like all the trinkets, minus all the what are they called? I don't have all the Colors of Madness trinkets. There we go, that's the word. And the reason I don't have all of those is because Colors of Madness takes a while. If you haven't played the DLC, it's just grinding for stuff. And you're like, well, you have to grind the regular dungeons for stuff. Yeah, but at least you can go to different dungeons, face different enemies, and have different viable compositions. The Colors of Madness is like, this is your party, this is your dungeon, go, and it's kind of boring, I gotta admit. You do face different enemies in there, but the lights get really annoying, and I don't know. I would prefer just to go to the dungeons and do it. I could kill the thing from the stars over and over again, but that means I'd have to rely on I think a 50% spawn chance and then walk through the whole dungeon and find his battle. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Oh, this fight's gonna suck. Oh, this fight's gonna suck a lot. Oh, this fight's gonna suck an amazing amount. Here we go. Yep, there it is. And I think I got rid of my anti-venom scroll. Oh, there we go. Just keep it coming. Keep it coming. Oh, everyone's gonna go for me as well. Alright. Keep it going. But yep. So that's mostly the Darkest Dungeon stuff coming up. It's a lot. I'm excited for it. But just gonna need a little bit of time, that's all. If she gets stunned, that's gonna be a big shame, okay. But yeah, the big things coming up. Oh, and I still have the first Darkest Dungeon how-to to do. And that also needs to get into its own, yep, see, that needs to also get into its own playlist review 1 through 3. I'm debating if I want to make one for the 4th one. I think the 4th one's pretty, I don't want to say easy, but I think it's hard to not have a decent party composition for that. I don't know why, like, it seems really hard in theory, but since you're just kind of sitting there in the battles the whole time, jeez, man. This Vestal is just eating so much crap right now. But yeah, I guess I'll make one for all 4. The final one won't be too hard, and maybe I'll think of a new strategy after I do this playthrough as well, so I'll have a new spin on things. There we go, nice grip. But as always, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for supporting the channel. Eventually I would like to stream more. I know a decent amount of you actually follow me on Twitch, so I do want to get into that, but there's personal times I have to like kind of block off, because I need to find when I can have a solid 2 hours of non-noise. Yeah, what game I'm gonna play, so it's a little more that goes into it sometimes. But if you want to help support the channel, there is Subscribestar and also Patreon if you are so willing to do so. No pressure, I just don't put ads on my channel, though I technically have the viewers and subscribers to do so. And if you're asking why I don't do that, I believe you guys see enough ads in your daily life that I don't need to subject you to more anytime you want to relax. I know most of you probably use ad blocker if you're on a PC, where I think if you have YouTube Red, you paid not to have ads, but it's okay. I don't do this really for a living, so I'm okay with not having ads. But any money is appreciated because it does help me get newer games, helps me buy newer equipment because I need somewhere to store my literally hundreds, and I think I might even be at a terabyte of game files right now. So any money is greatly appreciated. It helps me keep getting up to the latest tech, and also a place to put all these videos for you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching the Monk. I'm sad the Harlot didn't really get more of an opportunity. She's very strong, and I'll probably put out some more videos in the near future here for her. But as of right now, I guess the game decided she wasn't going to get a very good run. Thank you for watching, and see you around.